Hi everybody, happy Sunday. I hope everybody have a wonderful weekend. Thank you guys so much for coming back, watching my videos, and thank you for your sense of humor about my little casual videos from my walks. Welcome back everybody. I have a very important message today for all of you who is watching now or will watch later, and that message is you have to listen to your coach, your relationship coach, your matchmaker, whoever guiding you in your process in introducing yourself to a new culture and meeting Ukrainian women because of difference in female mentality and because of difference in etiquette. So I'm gonna go into it. I'm gonna say hi to everybody first. Hey guys, not gonna stay for too long today because I got stuff to do. Green King, I'm doing really well. You don't even know how. You don't even wanna know how well. I actually decided to have some fun and take a little social break, and it is like remember guys, I made that video about friends and social interactions, so I'm all good, all fixed. So all right, so I have noticed that there are people that hire, fitness coach, diet coach, I don't know, dating coach, or anything like that. Of course, personal coach if they or matchmaker when they're in Ukraine. So they hire somebody, they place a high hope on that, but yet they are not following what the coach is teaching them because they think they know better, they think they are smarter. And let me tell you some crucial things where it's extremely important that you listen to your coach. And then we're gonna go to those things that you should always listen with yourself. You should always think about your feelings. When it comes to etiquette, it's not about feelings. When it comes to um, female mindset understanding, it's not about feelings. You do not, as a man or a woman, whoever your coach is, through the years they understand female mindset and sensitive things about female mindset, so that's why matchmakers, like for example, most matchmakers I know, I work with Alex Pinto, but there are also other ones. When they give you guidance, when they guide you through certain things, through the process, they will help you with writing letters. They will help you to prepare for the date. Uh, it's so crucial, it's so important because you paid the money, you've invested, but if you don't listen to what the person who is guiding you telling you, you're going to fail. Is there a 90% or more that you're going to fail? It's just what it is. It's the same thing if, for example, somebody would come to us and will try to do things the way we do things in Ukraine. There are certain things that you can do and there are certain things that you cannot do, just because you're not going to win people's heart. If you go to China, you have to learn about their culture. If you go to Japan, you have to learn about their culture. And the whole point of investing into coach, or coach, matchmaker, consultant, is use their knowledge for your advantage and meanwhile learn about the country. Do you know, for example, that in Ukraine is not normal, it's rude to actually walk in your street shoes to someone's apartment? You should always ask, should I take my shoes off? In a good manners, you should just take your shoes off anyway, especially if you're a man, because when you're a woman, a lot of times your shoes is a part of your outfit, and sometimes the host will say, oh, it's okay, you can keep your shoes today. But if you just walk into somebody's house and you have these big boots that have mud, and you just walk across the room, you show yourself as a person that doesn't have any understanding of the culture, doesn't have any respect, and you have no idea. Most of, I would say, 80 to 90% of Russian and Ukrainian people do not wear street shoes, even if they're pretty, in the house, unless it's a new pair of heels and the girl is rocking it and it's between the girls. But once again, you're not one of the girls and you were not born there. Don't think that just because you've been there before, or maybe you even been married to Ukrainian or Russian women, you do not need somebody to guide you on etiquette and on mental, on the mentality, female mentality of Ukrainian women. It's not that easy. That's why these people who are matchmakers, agencies, relationship coaches, that's why they have to spend so much time to personally advise and help you. And you are not to expected to know these things. I live in US, and still there are some things, there are many things that I struggle with sometimes because I was not born here. So it's nothing to blame yourself for, but it's just using common sense in realizing that if you invested in somebody, you actually stealing from yourself if you do not listen to their advice. Because if you listen to everything they said and nothing worked out, they might even return, give you your money back. Well, at least in US they might. But it's a waste of time if you hire somebody and you do everything they said. You have a lot higher chances to get what you want. If you hire somebody but you show your character, I know better, oh, I know how to talk to women. Well, if you do, how is that, you're here and asking for help? So it's not about being less than somebody, but it's about that understanding. When you go to dentist office, you don't give dentist an advice. You go with what they say, and if they made a mistake, they're in a big trouble. Of course, dating is not like dating is not like dentistry or anything like that, but I just want to tell you guys, I don't care whose service you are working with. Do you work with myself? Do you work with Alex? Do you work with other people? Do you work with, maybe you have a personal assistant or consultant? Maybe it's somebody. You have to realize that it's a great opportunity for you to learn. Talking about the female mindset, female mindset is complicated anyway, and you will never figure that out till the day you die. So that's given. But if you want to be successful, if you want to build that connection that is so crucial in the beginning of communication, because sometimes you miscommunicate and things never get a chance to get built. Things never get an opportunity to blossom. You have to understand that women are sensitive about certain things, including their appearance, their age, their confidence. You have to be very careful, because just as females have their sensitive things, men have even more sensitive things. And I won't bring it into this life because children might be watching us, but you know exactly what I'm talking about and what issues some men facing after the age of 50, for example. For many men, there are some very sensitive issues, and it would be very embarrassing if the lady would be kind of asking questions, or it's something very, very intimate about. It's something you talk about when you know the person really, really well. You bring up the question of children, or ED. I'm gonna say what I was talking about for those that can't guess, or any other like physical aspects or any other concern. You have to be extremely careful when you talk to somebody, because unintentionally you can hurt a person, and especially in those sensitive areas, you might not realize how rude some things that you are saying are. I was working this week with a person, And I told him right away when he let me make this video. He said, yes, please do this video. And scold me. So that's what I'm doing, but I've never, tell the details of the person, and I always ask for a permission. So he told me, I told him when I saw the works that he sent me to look through, and that was he was communicating with the lady he already knew, and he sent me several snapshots because she just got very angry and hurt, and he couldn't figure out why. So I asked him for a permission to tell him exactly how things are, because there is no point of beating around the bushes. So when he showed me his snapshots and conversations, I mean, I felt hopeless. So in that particular case, he was the man in his 50s who is, and it reflects many people. There is nothing wrong with being in your 50s. It's actually age of power for a man if they live in their life right. It's an age of confidence, of power, of owning your life. Once again, if you're doing it right, and you can still be in a great shape and all of that. But so he was talking about him worrying if his potential wife will still be able to have children, and she was in her, I don't know, I think she was in her mid-30s, yes. And they were talking about, he was asking these questions like, oh my god, first of all, you never write texts or emails about something like that. Second of all, she's not gonna, you've worried about something that you might even never get from this person, but by asking these questions but not being careful, you set yourself for a failure. Not to mention that every woman's age, just something you don't even know, I'm gonna tell you something about the female's biology. Every woman age in a different way. There are some women that can have early things happening so they cannot have a child, after the early 40s. There are some women that it happens a lot later till they in their 50s. There are some women that can't have a child even in their 20s because they have issues. There are some women that are capable of, being healthy, having a healthy, low risk pregnancy, even if they're in their 40s. And there are some women that have a nightmare every day, even if they're 20s. It's between her health, and her doctor. And you have no right to or no, you have no moral. No moral right to talk about something so sensitive with somebody you barely know. Even if you met before, even if you went to restaurants, this woman, she is not committed to you yet. You hadn't claimed her yet. You had not spent time with her. Maybe she doesn't want any goddamn kids with you or anything like that. And it's also making you a hypocrite, because you are obviously a lot older and you're trying somebody else to feel like their capacity is about to expire. So saying this to Ukrainian women, talking about the age, the appearance, I don't know, the whatever, if you're not sure about something, don't be with her. Don't. It's the same thing if she would be asking you, about your performance in certain aspects and how long it's gonna last now. I mean, how embarrassing and what a horrible conversation that would be. Or she would ask about your money in the bank, and and like measuring you from all these perspectives. I mean, when people get together, they have to build connection. We are all different. We don't know those things. We don't know what's our destiny have for us. We have to be very understanding and sensitive, and you have to realize there is nobody obligated to bring you any kids. It's like you just skipped 10 stages of dating. If you asking these questions and you're worried and you're trying to measure somebody, you literally just skipped 10 stages of dating. How would you feel if you go on a first date with a lady and she tells you she wants to get married, and you are not in your 50s, you are in your 20s or 30s? You'll be like, Bill, please exit. So there are some natural things when things are unfolding. Same goes to hinting about having intimacy, hinting about having sex. That's the worst thing, once again, that you can do. Ukrainian women overall are very passionate, and they put a big importance on that. But let things unfold. If the chemistry is there, if the connection is there, at the right time with the right person, it's going to happen. You don't need to talk about it or hint about it. As a woman, I can tell you there is nothing worse than hints about that, because it makes you just resistant. You just want to exit. When you come to the store, did you notice this, by the way? When you come to the store, like a new store, you're excited, and the salesperson comes into your face, and they are, hey, can I help you? What can I? You're not ready for it. What 95% of people saying? No. They say no because they hadn't seen the stores, they hadn't checked it out, they didn't figure out what they want, and they do not want to get into any negotiations or any sales pitch, because they want to check out that store and see if they like something about it. So it's somewhat resembling this situation. You want to let things unfold. Sometimes you meet the right person, and you don't care if they have certain things. There are women for who sex is not important. So if you are an older man and you have some health issues, and you think about doing certain thing about the ED issue, she would say, please don't do. I don't care about the blue pills. I just want to be with you. I just enjoy intimacy in different ways. We have some women that just, it's not important for them. So you don't need to poison yourself with certain tablets or worrying about it, because, it's at certain times of life, there are some things that matter. Things that matter in 30s do not matter as much in 50s. Things that matter in 20s, they don't matter as much in 40s. And also it depends on the person also. We can put two people who are, let's say, 40 years old. One of them will be full of life, be on top of their shape, looking 10 years or more younger, and doing great. Another one can be in a horrible condition. So it's all very, very personal. And I'm just giving all these details. It's not that easy, guys, to talk about these intimate things on live. Trust me, I am very uncomfortable in some ways, but I'm comfortable because I don't want you to having this frustrating experiences, and there is no point, right? Well, somebody's saying I don't want to have a kids with a woman who's around 40. Well, it depends how old you are. If you are 60, that you would be lucky to have that. If you are 30, obviously that's out of the question. You don't need to have somebody at that range. It's very, very personal. So guys, I can't even believe I'm talking about these things. I can't believe this. 10 years from now, I will watch my videos and I'll be like, oh goodness, I can't believe I had to talk about this. But it's life. And if I would not be doing this, my work, I don't think would be that valuable. But the point of this video, whether that's an etiquette, like for example, if you are invited to Ukrainian lady's home, you never show up empty-handed. I even teach my son now, when you are with you going somewhere, people are preparing dinner for you or something, they invite you to their home, you never ever come empty-handed. It's a very it's a horrible thing to do for Ukrainian culture. People might sort of overlook it, but you're gonna feel so bad because you will see that they were preparing things all day, decorating things all day, doing all of that, and you just come in like a parasite, not contributing. So I'm not gonna go into details of what you need to do or what you need to understand, but there are many things that needs that you need to learn before you blame your coach that you did not listen and you did not get that friendship, that relationship, or even a safe travel. If you hire a coach, if you pay their money, so get your money worth. Get the money that you spending on a coach. Get some value. People who are helping and consulting you, they are happy to give you that value. But if you do not listen, it's the same thing if you have a fitness coach and you doing some very intense exercise, but at night you get up and you, instead of broccoli and what's that, and chicken and fish, you munching some donuts at night, and then you tell your coach, oh no, I don't know why I'm having no results, I don't understand what's happening. Yeah, I don't know, it's your fault, yeah. And then the coach have a snapshot of you eating donuts. It's like the coach have a snapshot of your conversations. Like my clients send me his conversations and, talking about sensitive topics via email. Oh my goodness. Once again, guys, you gotta understand that the woman you're talking to, you introducing, you just creating a connection. She does not. It's just weird. It's the same thing if she would tell you, hey, I wonder how we're gonna divide your money when you die, because I think when you die, you're gonna die earlier than I am, because well, obviously. So I wonder how we're gonna divide it between me and your family. I'm so excited. Like, it's the same thing, when you don't even know the person and you're worrying about the kids and how many kids you can have, and whether it's like, it's the most horrible turn off you can be, is you're worrying about, how we call it in Russia and Ukraine, we call it worrying about the skin of bear you hadn't killed. Let's say you go for a hunt, you had not found you did not kill anybody, but, I mean, by anybody I mean deer or bear, but you already worrying how you're gonna divide the skin of that unkilled, yet to kill, maybe bear. You're gonna worry how you're gonna divide that skin of the bear, between your friends and relatives, and it's just like, what are you talking about? You're gonna figure that out, and sometimes you realize, because you have to understand, guys, more than half of people who are watching me, it's their second or third or even fourth marriage. You have to understand, sometimes you might decide to not have kids. Sometimes, if the person is right, you might adopt. I mean, there are so many things that you can do, but worrying before your time and skipping the sweetest time of dating, when you flirt, when you get to know each other, that's the sweetest time that you always remember. So don't mess it up. And you might just take a decision to not date certain women because you have some goals that are super important for you, but you cannot talk about those things. If you think that this woman is not right for you because of your body type, age, weight, I don't know, race, whatever it is, so just don't talk to her. There are certain things that she won't be able to change, and by bringing that up, you can hurt her feelings. And once again, she's going to see you as a hypocrite, because she obviously can see you and your imperfections. And when you are far from perfect and you criticizing a perfectly deliciously imperfect woman, if she has any self-esteem, she's just gonna close the door and say, see you later. And that could have been a good woman. So anyways, guys, I'm really glad my client let me talk about it, because because I almost killed him, but he's still alive. All right. Yeah, some good comments here, guys. I'm gonna go real quick because I gotta go. Oh my gosh, what time it is? Oh, I have some other important messages to share with you guys if I'm still alive in the evening or maybe tomorrow. I want to say special thank you. I don't know if Jared is watching me, but I received a very important email with somebody who just had a really awful experience in Ukraine, and I'm gonna share every bit of this on a video. I'm gonna read the email because something you need to know. But anyway, let me look for the comments. Thank you guys. Hey Stan, Take Affect. Thank you for coming. Hey Brian, James. All right, let's see if there is anything I need to comment on. Hey Ricky, sounds like you are good and well. Yeah, so guys, all the sensitive topics. Yeah, James Fleming is saying it's not something. I don't care what the issue is. It can be any issue, but anything sensitive, do not ever text about anything sensitive ever. It's not also for a casual conversation, when you like chewing on a sandwich and drinking Coke and like, hey, it's not how you do this. You have to have intimate conversation when it's just you and you want to talk about future and whatever. I just brought the children issue, but it could be absolutely anything. It could be sex, it could be anything. I have somebody that I know that married a man and he had some issues in there, but she did not care about that, and they actually have intimacy, but just a different kind of intimacy. And when she realized he was taking blue pills, she told him to stop immediately because she didn't want the blue pills to kill her husband. They had, they met a little bit later in life. She had plenty of that before. She wanted somebody who can, she wanted somebody who can support her, can create beautiful life with her, be a companion. There are times in life when you marry somebody to just have a companion, have somebody to talk to, have somebody to love, have somebody to hug, have somebody to do beautiful things with. Yes. So when she realized that he was doing that, she said, I don't know if you know this, I am totally fine without the blue pills. I'm totally fine. I've been young, I've had kids, I had sex before, and let's face it, it's a different experience. When two young bodies making love, it's like even God is welcoming that. It's things that change as time goes. Some people still into it till the day they die. Some people have some issues. Ukrainian woman that loves you, she will never put you through any kind of unnecessary pain. It's a similarity how if you love a woman, if you love and accept your woman and you connect with her on many levels, you're not going to say, hey, you know what, I think you need to change your breast, you have to go get that operation, or I don't like your nose, or you need to do facelift. When you love a person, you don't ask them for that because you accept and love and adore what you have. And this couple I just talked about, they have most beautiful, most tender and sweet relationship. They both are a little older, but so sex was not important anymore, but they do have intimacy. They spend a lot of time together, they enjoy each other, they have similar interests. And the Ukrainian woman that cares, she would never want you to hurt yourself in any way, whether it's finance, whether it's all these things I just mentioned. I don't know. I actually might save this video, guys. It might disappear in 24 hours. I might move it to my Patreon because I don't know. I can't believe I'm talking about this. I'm lucky my parents do not speak English, so they can not know what I'm up to. But you know what? somebody has to talk about this. So when it comes to female mentality, when it comes to etiquette, when it comes to those things that you cannot be an expert, period. Um, Trust a person who work with females or females themselves, have a lot of experiences, know how to connect, know how to approach and help the person trust you. So all of these things, don't try to show, well, I know it all, so I'm gonna say, hey, what's up, what can you do for me, and do you have time to do it, huh? You got to figure out, you have to find that connection. And sometimes the things you think are important, after certain times they are becoming not that important. Sometimes you believe that you wanted one thing but you fall in love with another, so you have to um, give it a chance. So that's the first part of this. I would like to talk about another part, which is where you must and shall trust yourself. This is when it comes to who you really authentically are. That comes to your feelings. Sometimes you meet with somebody, and like you say in United States, the person checks all of the boxes, which I personally do not like that expression, because I believe that people connect on levels that nobody could really understand. I mean, I don't think that you can count certain things. So when you connect with people on a deeper level, and you understand, it looks like everything is good, or there are some issues that your coach tells you, oh, this is minor, but you are the person that is going to be waking up with this very lady every single day of your life. And if there is something that, maybe it's your attitude, you realize that your attitude is, she no matter how you try it, maybe you travel together, maybe you live in together, she has just bad attitude. She's negative in some way, so she's criticizing you, or she's not accepting certain things. This is where you have to, when you already in a relationship and you get to know the person, and you become in one. And it's not about taking a small imperfection in a character of a person and make it big. It's about connecting with a person and looking for that answer inside. Every single one of us have that answer inside, in within us. That's what I mean. That answer within. And sometimes when your couple looks beautiful on the outside, but inside of you, you hurting. You know that the person does not respect you, or is not compassionate, is not empathetic, judgmental, critical, jealous. These things are very important for you to reflect, because once it goes to the depths of relationship, a connection, an emotional connection, this is where you are your best guide. You have to connect within. You have to find those answers. You can go and talk to somebody about it. You can talk to a therapist, consultant, coach, but those intimate things, or those important emotional things that you have inside, nobody can help you with that. So if those things are a deal breaker for you, if you cannot be with a woman, if your love language is words of affirmation, and you have a lady that is negative, and she's very pretty, but she's scolding you, she doesn't appreciate things you do, and she has kind of like a negative attitude, which is rare, I'm just telling you, or she's jealous, or she does not accept, she wants you to accept her, but she doesn't accept you, and she makes a big deal out of it. This probably will not change. So you have to ask, can I live with it? Can I live with it? Not my coach, not my therapist, not my consultant. Can I be okay? Because it's okay to be with somebody, there are certain imperfections you are okay with, because we all got them, we all got certain flaws. But when you consider somebody for a lifetime, when you can accept those things, they don't matter for you that much. Like, for example, you are super organized person and she is super creative, other words, messy, but you don't care about it because you know that your highly organized person knows how to deal with it, and you're going to help her to be a little bit more organized. And even if she can't be organized, you will organize it for her, but she will create something that you need help with and you can't get done. She will do that for you. So basically you go of your strengths, and she doesn't touch the accounting for the family, but you don't touch the decoration of the house. This, it's nice, it's nothing wrong with completing each other and enjoying the strengths of each person rather than try to change them. But if you have some things that you are not okay with, if the person lacks affection, if the person lacks empathy, and guys, I want to amplify the empathy, because once again, especially for people who are getting married and a little bit more mature age, empathy, being empathetic and responsive and feeling the person, that is the most important thing. Because when you're sick and you have a flu, or you have some health conditions, and the person, you can just feel they don't care about you. You can just die there. But they are pretty, you can put them on your Facebook and on Instagram and say, hey, this is my wife. So you don't want that. You want somebody who is connecting with you on a deeper level. And this is where you might consider to change the age gap. This is where you might consider to realize that, yes, not all women in Ukraine looking like models. So maybe I should consider. So those are the things that you need to decide, what you want. And realized, am I just want to be with somebody for 1 year, Yeah, some have blue hair, that's right. So guys, that is my message. It really comes from my heart. I hope you understand. I am not trying to tell you to ignore your feelings. I'm trying to tell you, learn from your matchmaker, consultant, whoever is helping you and you paying money for. Apply their knowledge. You have a unique opportunity without being in Ukraine. Have a knowledge of somebody who knows what they're doing, right? Who know what they're doing. And when it comes to decisions that will change your life, then when it comes to choosing a person and connecting with them heart to heart, soul to soul, this is where not any living person can help you. You have to take that decision with you. And I want to tell you another secret. It's not hard. Why? Because that connection is either there or not. The soul, it's never like we are connecting, but we are not. No. Every person that's trying to work on a relationship, give second, third, fifth chances and all of that, no. It's either there and you invest in it and making it better and overcoming things together, or it's not. Or it's just an exchange. Use for the lifestyle. Or whatever it is. That's a different story. I'm talking here about real, authentic relationships. Real, authentic relationships. So, of course, I'm late now, guys, and I'm going to blame you for that. Well, no, I'm not going to blame you, but thank you for all the comments and kind words. Let's see. James Fleming, thank you. James is saying that my macho presentation was pretty good. Could possibly win an Oscar. Thanks. I like your sense of humor, James. And Tech Effect, thank you for the compliment. And all of you guys, thank you for the compliments. Thank you for flattering me. I appreciate that, especially today, for reasons I won't tell you. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. When you have a moment, listen to this video again. So it's really important to define those things, and and realize that it has nothing to do with you being led by other people. But if you invest in somebody to help you, if you invest into a professional, into a lawyer, into a builder, you have a unique thing you paid for. You have an access to their knowledge, to the experience, that they can also make a mistake. They can also make a mistake, but most likely they will have a lot more chances to get you started in the right direction and lead you right. And when it comes to your intimate things, to your feelings, that is where you listen to yourself. You journal, you talk to God, you talk to universe, whatever that might be for you. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you so very much. Enjoy your Sunday. I hope it's better than our Sunday, because we have thunderstorms and all kinds of things, but it's still a beautiful day to be alive. So thank you so much. And I will be coming on shortly. We're going to talk about some safety measures and an extreme letter that I got from a subscriber that had been sharing about the challenges that he had. Actually, I'm just going to read his entire letter. So, well, working with men having its own side effects. So I'm used to it, and I appreciate the kind words. I want to tell you, I try to stay on the topic, but I do not get mad for the compliments. Why?